Today about WordPress and hobbits. So here I am, and I've got my totally amazing WordPress blog. It's all installed. And what I want to do is I want to create a new custom theme. Okay. And I'm going to spread this over a couple videos, but my goal here is to create my own theme, put it in the folder, put some code in there, and then apply this framework here, this unsemantic grid, to create a little bit of layout in my theme. Okay? And so here I am right here, and this is my basic WordPress theme. And I've got it installed. And this is my themes directory here for my WordPress installation. And I have all the default themes and a couple other themes in there. And so the first thing I need to do is I'll need to install, a basic theme, and I'll make up my own theme here, okay? And what I'm going to do to save us a little bit of time is I have a basic theme with just the bare bones code in it to get your WordPress stuff showing up on the screen. And I have it here on my GitHub site. My GitHub account is Soggy Bag. Okay, just like it sounds. And here it is. So I'm at GitHub/SoggyBag. And this is my GitHub stuff right there. And what you'll want to do is you'll want to go to repositories. And the repository we're looking for is called WordPress or WP Basic Theme. So if I type in WP here, it'll show me WP Basic Theme. Okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this, and then it's going to give me these two. I mean, there's not even much in here, because you don't really need much to make a theme, right? You just need two files. So the minimum amount to make the theme is these two files, index.php and style CSS. Okay, and we can look at these files here in WordPress, and when I click on index.php, you're going to see that this is the file here. It's got the doc type at the top, and then the HTML and the head tag. And you can see in the head tag here, there's a couple things that are different from making a regular, HTML website. And first of all, you'll see these tags in here that have this $PHP, and these are the PHP tags. Okay, and what's happening is inside this PHP tag, this is a function, blog info, parentheses, right, with a semicolon. We might remember that from JavaScript or other programming languages, but it looks very similar. And these functions are all written in the WordPress code. So when you installed WordPress, somewhere in there they've defined a function called blog info. And so we can call on that function by writing it inside the PHP tag. In the parlance of WordPress, these are called template tags. Okay, so these are called WordPress template tags. So this template tag here, blog info name, gives you the name of your blog. Okay, so the name is set in the admin panel under settings, general. And then this one right here, WP title, is a template tag that prints the title of the blog. And the title is actually not the title of the whole blog itself, it's the title of any post or page that's showing. And this only shows the title when a single post or page is displayed. If you're displaying an archive, that is a list of posts, okay? So if there's multiple posts on the page, then the title doesn't display, okay? I'll get more into the details of that later, but anyway, these are the template tags, right? So you're going to see them written in, and the idea here is that, this is the title tag, and we want to print the title, which will appear up here in the tab or in the menu bar on the window. And, we want to fill it in, but the thing is our theme, like the blog theme, will need to fill that in based on what the content is, so that the value here is going to change, right? The name of the title here, or the text in the title, is going to be different for anybody's blog that might use my theme, or even on my theme the title might change for different pages or different posts. Okay, so we're using these template tags to generate the title dynamically. So by that we mean that we're going to generate a new title or a different title depending on the circumstances. The title is dynamic; it changes. Okay. Down here you can see this is a link to the style sheet, and inside the link to the style sheet you'll see it says href, and then inside here there's another template tag. Funny how these things crop up all over, right? And this one says blog info style sheet URL. Now there's something really important to note about this. What's happening here is that, let me change the font size here, right? Okay. What's happening is that my theme will be running from a folder here, okay? So imagine that we're in this folder right here, and my file, this index.php, is this file here, and really the blog site itself, like if we actually went to the address of the blog, it would be way up here, okay? So my site isn't actually running in the same folder where the theme files are located. So that means that, when you're in the browser and you're looking at the HTML files, or you're viewing them, in the browser, what's happening is the site itself feels or thinks it's running from this folder, but it has to go and grab a style sheet out of your theme directory over here, right? So what's going to happen is we're going to give it the path to that theme directory, okay? And we're going to do it this way. We're going to say blog info style sheet URL, and that's going to fill in the path to the theme directory for us. So then we're going to link to our style sheet, okay? And then we got this WP head, and this you have to include this in the head of the document, and it's there for anything else that WordPress might want to print into the head of your document. And you'll see that WordPress adds a lot of stuff to the head of the document. It can be used by plugins. So if you add a plugin to WordPress and that plugin needs to write some, style sheet code or JavaScript code or something into the head of the document, it'll use this hook. We'll call this a hook in this terminology here. It's a template tag, but it's also a hook for other things to use to attach them or hook them into our system here, or into our theme, okay? So anyway, so there's the head of the document, and then we have the body of the document, okay? So this is just the body tag, just like any HTML page. The difference here is that, again, we're going to use the template tags to generate the content. So here I'm using the HTML tags to, define the structure of the page, but the content is actually missing. So you can see I've got, I kind of broke this up on several lines, but essentially this is just a head tag or a header tag with an H1, and then there's an anchor tag inside it, and then there's, like maybe the title of the site would be inside this anchor tag, but instead of using the title, we use a template tag here to generate the title from our blog information in the admin panel. Okay, so again, I've got blog info name here, and that's going to get the name of my site from the WordPress admin panel under settings general. Okay, and it's going to print the name here. And then this blog info URL template tag here is going to get the address to the blog. It'll get the reference to the home page, right? And so now we have a link to our site with that is the title, right? This is the text, the title of the site, and then it's the path to the site. So clicking this link will take us to the home page, okay? And then this will give us the description of the blog, which is actually the tagline or blog description that's under settings general also, okay? So I tried to put some comments in here so you can see I've got these comments here, and I'm hoping that that's going to outline like the different sections of the page. Here's a nav menu in case you want to create a nav. Now, if you want to make a horizontal nav, that's going to happen in your style sheet. My nav is actually just going to be a regular UL. So it's just got the nav tag and the UL, and then I'm using another template tag to generate a list of links. So this is going to generate a list of pages, and this WP list pages lists all the pages on your site. So any page you create is going to be listed underneath here. We can later replace this with another template tag called WP Nav Menu. And the Nav Menu tag lets you make a customized menu. And there's a lot of options that you can do with that. I'm just using this as a simple tool right here, but later we'll talk about WP Nav Menu. Okay, and then this is the loop. Okay, so next we have the loop. And the loop is super important. Everything in WordPress is built around the loop, okay? And anytime you're in WordPress, reading anything about WordPress, you're going to hear people talk about the loop, okay? And this is the loop right here, okay? So what is the loop? Well, the loop is a block of code that gets repeated once for every post. Let's do a quick example here. I'm going to go to my blog here. Actually, I think it's on this tab here. You can see there's my wonderful blog. And I'm using the 2015 theme, and they have the loop also. And in their loop, essentially, for every post, they're going to print this block of HTML code. So this white box right here with Frodo and all the content there, and the date and the tags and this edit button, right? All of that is in a block of HTML code, right? And that block of HTML code is defined inside the loop. So it has to be between the if and the end while, okay? And you can put anything you want in here, right? So this is actually different from the 2015 theme. It just has an H3 with a an anchor tag, and this template tag, the content, gets the content of the post, and this one gets the date and the category and the comments, right? And what's happening is this block is going to get repeated once for every post. And you can see that on my site here, I have a post called Frodo. So there's one post, and then I have a post called Sauron, and there's a second post, so there's two. And then there's a post called Lothlorien. There's post number 3, right? Do you see a theme here? And then I have a post called Peter Parker. Hey, he's breaking my theme. What if Spider-Man went to Middle-earth? Think about it. So anyway, there's a 4th post there, and then I have some more posts here, and we can click this page thing to get to them. But anyway, the HTML that defines each of these posts is essentially the same. So there's one container object here, and then this little footer here that puts the date and whatnot in it, and then the content goes in the middle, and then there's a title up here with a link to that post, right? And then this one's the same. It's got the footer at the bottom with the date, and then the content in the middle, and then a title at the top, right? So all these are the same because it's the same HTML structure. The only thing that's different is the content that fills it in, right? So when I look here, you can see that this block of code is going to have the title, the content, and the other stuff. And what WordPress is going to do is it's going to repeat this block of code. Essentially, think about it as copying and pasting this block of code once for every post, okay? And we got to make sure that anything that's going to be repeated in here is complete, because if we opened a tag outside and then closed the tag inside, you'd have one opening tag and then multiple closing tags, right? And that can be a problem. And the same thing goes if you open a tag in here. You don't want to close it outside the loop, okay? The loop that I have here is actually divided into 3 sections, or 2 sections, but it's got this thing at the top, a thing in the middle, and then a thing at the bottom, right? So this thing here, the block at the top, is the post, okay? And you can do anything you want in here, okay? Probably not use an ID name in here because this will be repeated, so we just want to use class names in here if we're going to use class names, right? And then I have this end while thing, right? So what this is saying is, if we have posts, then, we're going to do this block and print the posts. If we don't have any posts, so if you go to a web page and there aren't any posts on that page, then what's going to happen is we're going to skip down here to this else statement. And this is going to be the message that we print saying like, whoops, sorry, no posts were found. So if we have posts, this is what a post is going to be. If we don't have posts, we're going to see this block instead. Okay, and then this end if closes the whole thing off. Okay, so let's scroll down a little further. So this little block right here is our nav links. So we can use this to go to the next group of posts or the previous group of posts. And this will print a next and previous link, depending on whether we need it or not. Okay, so this post nav link template tag, again, it's a template tag just like all those other ones. It's got the PHP, wrapper there, right? Okay, and then this is my sidebar, and we can do a lot more with the sidebar. I just kind of have a very basic sidebar here, but you know, I've got a UL with a nav tag, and then this template tag is going to list all my pages. This is going to list my categories, and then I got a little meta link here that's going to give me a login and a register button. And then at the very bottom here, I have the footer, and so this will be the footer on my page, and we can do something with it. You know, you can do more with this, but I I just have a very basic footer there. Okay, one more thing. At the very bottom of the page, before the body tag closes, there's a little tag here that says WP Footer. And what this does is it allows WordPress to write any content or information into the page at the bottom of the page if it needs to. So it may not write anything, but it may write something into the page, right? This is very similar to the WP head tag up here. So it just gives WordPress a hook so it can, you know, put stuff into the page if it needs to. So actually, you know, these two things work together. You know, you can see them actually functioning when you're viewing your site here and you're logged into the admin panel. You get this little admin bar at the top, and there's two portions to this. There's a style sheet and some other information that goes in the head of the document, and then there's the actual HTML markup that creates this thing. So it creates a div with a couple lists inside it and some other things, and that actually is added to the page in the footer using WP Footer. Okay, so if you ever find that your admin bar is not functioning in the theme that you create, you may have forgotten to put in WP Footer and WP Head. Okay, so anyway, so there you go. There's a quick introduction, and then in the next video, I'll install this, and we'll actually see it in action. Okay, thanks.